invested in our troopers to make sure that we're keeping people safe. During the pandemic, they racked up all kinds of overtime when they were trying to police and keep us safe. And we spent money on that to make sure that they were adequately compensated. So these areas are important to both parties in the legislature, and there has been a lot of funding provided to those things. But it's also important to make sure that you give money back to the taxpayer, because the taxpayer is working hard to put food on the table and make ends meet. And we trust that you can spend your money better than we can. But we are investing in education, healthcare, and public safety, and we're going to continue to do that into the future.
But taxpayers depend on the government to spend money on our behalf to take care of things like children's mental health. We passed a children's mental health bill 5 years ago. Guess what? We're getting sued by the federal government for not providing mental health funding for our kids. That system has crashed into the ground because it's not been funded. Go look it up. Just Google it when you get home. We're not serving our kids. That mental health system that we all voted for has not been funded.
I think we can always do better, right? There's a lot of need out there, but we got to prioritize our spending, and we got to be fiscally responsible. People that elect us expect us to be fiscally responsible.
They expect us to take care of mentally ill kids. That's what they expect.
So we're about ready to hit the hour time, and I believe they would stay later if you guys have more questions. Well, I'm gonna do one last question, I suppose. Well, or maybe not. But the question is from Shyla. What was the best accomplishment in your career, and how did it affect our community? Can you take some time to think about that?
I mean, I guess I would say there's a number of things. I'm proud of all the work that we're doing in West Des Moines. We are working to reduce property taxes whenever it makes sense to do so. Because again, we know how hard people work, we have seniors on fixed incomes, but at the same time, we are also investing in the community in quality of life amenities that I mentioned that are absolute game-changing, that help bring in the best and the brightest to our community. We're working with employers to help them expand and add high-quality jobs. We've got so much economic development going on in the city that we have been actively working on. We've got 5 Microsoft data centers. 2 of them right now are in phase 2. Each one of these are in phase 2 of phase 6. So each one of them has 6 phases to it, and each phase has a taxable valuation of $318 million. Just one of our Microsoft data centers has a taxable valuation greater than the entire taxable valuation of the city of Windsor Heights. We are in the hunt for a project that's going to invest $1 billion in our city and bring 2,000 jobs. Top Golf has just broke ground. That's going to be coming. We've got the Grand Experience that we're working on, which is a water park hotel convention center that is 2.5 times the size of the Great Wolf Lodge in Kansas City. We've got West Bank that is expanding and building their corporate headquarters across from Valley West Mall. We've put money into older parts of our city like Valley Junction. I am really proud of this. We have revitalized Valley Junction, 5th Street up and down. If you haven't been to Valley Junction in a while, you need to go, because there are unbelievable shops and unbelievable restaurants and bars there, and it is hopping more than I have ever seen it. Not only are we doing that, but we're doing affordable housing in West Des Moines. In Valley Junction, we're working on beautifying the neighborhoods, preserving our affordable housing, and we've got programs there to do that. And it's based on sliding scale based on income. You can fix up your homes if you got a crack in the foundation, need to replace the roof, need to fix the porch that's sloping, put new siding on the house. So we are really taking care of everything in West Des Moines, and we're cutting taxes at the same time. It's not an either-or proposition. You can both cut taxes and meet the needs of the people at the same time.
I recognize all those projects that Russ was talking about, and some of them that we actually worked on together. And I very much enjoy working with Russ. Russ and I are not adversaries. We work very well together. In fact, we work on stuff like on the same side most of the time, like 99.9% of the time. My biggest accomplishments are my kids. So I haven't been in the legislature enough to even have any real accomplishments being in the minority. Haven't been able to do that yet. So my kids are my biggest accomplishments. I'm gonna keep pouring resources and love into them, and they're my future. They're the future. So I'm just gonna keep trying to pass the best policies possible for the state of Iowa that'll hopefully affect them, and keep investing in public schools is probably the number one thing that I believe in. So that's what I'm gonna keep doing.
So this is a speech and communications class, right?
So, some of these, about a third of these people are my class.
Okay.
And then 2/3 are other classes.
I-
Could be speech communication, could be other things.
Well, I would tell you this. Public speaking is maybe not my favorite thing in the world, okay? And I'm the mayor. It's kind of weird. It's like a nanny that doesn't like kids, right? But I guess what I want to say to the speech and communications people is it's very scary to get up in front of people and talk. And if you don't do it a lot, then it's even more scary. So I applaud you for taking the class. The more you do it, the more comfortable you're going to be at it. And so I would just encourage you to get up and talk in front of people, even though it's scary. And I think you guys will really benefit from that. You know, I'm a lot less scared now as mayor than I ever was to talk in front of people. So sometimes you just got to dive in and do it, and you'll get better and better.
The more you know about your subject matter and the more you care about it, the better you're gonna get at speaking too.
So Eric, thank you for having us. I don't know if there's any other questions or.
Well, we've got 2 minutes. Does anyone have a last question? All right, well, let's thank the mayor and senator. All right.
Thank you, sir. It's an honor. I appreciate it. I will take one step out of it, and I'm going to leave it for you. Okay. Appreciate the offer. I haven't got to see you a lot. I'm so busy.
What about as well as I was expecting, as well as I was anticipating?